everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. My name is Alex. I'm outside Stamford Bridge with Lewis. Lewis, we've just lost 2-0 against Brentford. After the Arsenal game, me and you had different opinions. I took a lot more positives out of it. I think that you, obviously we were all gutted, but, you know, I think generally you thought it was a step in the wrong direction. I still thought it was a step in the
right direction, just the wrong result.
Okay, but let's just look at Brentford, man. I mean, nobody expected this. We knew it'd be a hard game, but 2-0 at home, it's brutal, mate.
It's their third win on the bounce here, bro. Like, are you deep here? We've gone from Stamford Bridge to Stamford Brothel real quick. Everyone comes here and scores. Fucking everybody. There's a one step forward and now we just moonwalked 3 steps back. We could go back to 12th if results don't go our way. It's right back to the same depressive bullshit because yet again we can't break a low block. That felt like the same Chelsea that we saw in the first few games of the season. Do well for the first 30 minutes, do fuck all with your chances, and then just shit the bed, go into your shell, become clueless, concede a stupid goal, and then we never come back from it. Same old fucking story. Poch has got to take some of the blame for this. Why the hell was Gusto benched? For what? Because that first goal came from the right-hand side. Like, James, I understand, he's not fully match sharp yet. What did Gusto get dropped for? If it's seriously for that one mistake against Arsenal, that's fucking bullshit. Because he had Martinelli in his back pocket for most of the game. One mistake doesn't justify that. Because I could look at numerous players who had mistakes in games and they didn't get immediately dropped for it. Why did Gusto get immediately dropped? That point is on him. It's not all on him for the performance. I'm not going to just dig out Poch for it, but he has to hold it for that right-back situation. I get he's fucked with the Mudryk injury, with the Enzo knock. It impacted the midfield. It is what it is. I won't hold him accountable for that. But Gusto, that's on him. The attack is just reverted back to type. All of them. Sterling just starts overthinking. Madueke had one nice little shot that hit the post and then just disappeared. Jackson, God, I don't even know what he brought to the table in that game. It was just Cole Palmer. It's mad that Cucurella was one of our best forwards in the game.
Has your opinion changed on him?
My opinion was always that he just needed more game time to prove himself. I was always going to give him a second season, but I said he was better for us than Chilwell ever was, and he's been better this season in general. Like, yeah, he's balling out. Fair play to him. He was okay. Sanchez kept the scoreline decent. Cole Palmer tried. Bar that, it was just shit. Like, Gallagher, not great against a low block. Like, he's better for teams that are trying to attack you, not the likes of Brentford. We lacked Enzo's passing. To be honest, having Gallagher in the pivot in itself is a bigger problem that we need to talk about with Pochettino. I'd rather had Ugo Chukwu in there instead of him.
Gallagher seems like he has to start every game, though. And it's funny...
He doesn't have to, though. We can do it based on the opposition. Like, Gallagher is clearly better for us when we're playing teams that are better than us and who will dominate possession. Because he can do more off the ball. And then you get more out of him. When you got a team that's literally going to sit back and give you possession, he's not offering you much. And that's not me saying, like, he's a crap player or anything. I can admit he's improved this season. I'm happy to see that. But I don't think he was needed in this sort of game. But it's not just him, everybody, so many shit individual performances. The mentality, the game management is poor. How did you not see that second goal was coming from a breakaway when they nearly did it 3 minutes before that? And then you still throw everybody up. This team, like Brentford, are well known for sitting back, being good aerially and attacking you in transition. And what did we do? We let them score from headers and we gave them opportunities to score from transition. Game management is pathetic, man.
I completely agree with you with the corner. But I think with the second goal, I mean, what else are we supposed to do? Sit back?
Not sit back, but have players back, especially when it's a team that you know can damage you on transition.
It's 1-0 and you've got like 2-3 minutes left in the game, mate.
Bro, I understand that. But if there's 2 people there, let's say they break it, let's say they break that, that turnover, then you have another chance to attack. If there's nobody there, they're just running through to an empty net. Exactly what happened.
No, I can understand from that point of view, but I do understand the side of what Poch was thinking as well. I think that either side you've got a good explanation for it.
I don't get it. It's 1 step forwards, 2 steps back with everybody. It feels like Poch has just undone all of the faith that was starting to build with him, because some of the decisions just did not make sense at all. We had 2 right backs. If it's a case like Gusto has a knock, I'm sure one can play one half and one can play the other half. So why are we putting Disasi there? It don't make any fucking sense. We didn't have anything off the right-hand side as a result of that. If it was only a little shot from Noni and then him attempting to, but then barely taking players on, it was fucking toothless.
Yeah, I was a bit confused when I saw Madueke's start because he didn't have a great time when he came on against Arsenal, but
it was just a Mudryk injury. Like, I get that.
There's not really much Pochettino
Subs
can
didn't
do.
help. Maatsen wasn't great, but I mean, our thing with Maatsen is that we don't let him grow in any position. 1 minute we play him in a cam, the next minute we play him at right wing, then we put him back to left back. Like, where's he going to develop in?
For me, I think you've got to play him as a left back. That's where he performed at Burnley. I don't see why we need to change his positioning, but Pochettino clearly doesn't see him there. He never plays him as a left back.
Look, I get it with the lack of fixtures, so like, I get that there's not going to be a lot of rotation. Maybe he's just better off to potentially loan in the second half of the season, or at least just stick to bringing him on in a position so he can grow and understand it a little bit more. This whole thing of, okay, we'll throw you there, we'll throw you there, we'll throw you there, it doesn't do anything. Washington, didn't really expect anything from him. Ugo Chukwu, like, I didn't get that. Maybe it's the Caicedo yellow, and he didn't want to risk a red. But even then, I think in hindsight, it would have been better to start him. But I felt like today we just played right into Brentford's hands. We didn't make the most of the chances that we had. We let them dominate us in the air. And as soon as they get one goal, they're only going to become even tougher to break down. We need to find a way to figure out how to break down these low blocks. This has been a problem since the West Ham game.
I mean, Charlie was just talking to me before and he was saying, well, but they were 14th in the league. I was like, well, they're a bloody good team that are 14th in the league.
We'll make anybody look good.
That's true.
If anything, that makes the Arsenal game even more amazing. Like, how the hell were we able to produce that performance against them? I feel like that's the only thing that's given me slight optimism for the Tottenham game, but it just feels like hopium. Because if we're going to play like that, we're fucked. We're so fucked.
I mean, if you look at last season, right, I think every Chelsea fan can agree, it was just capitulation after capitulation. There was no wave. There was no up. It was just down, fucking worse every single week. And we went from Potter to Bruno to Lampard. I mean, that says it all. But this season, I am seeing more of a wave effect. So we are going up. We're being dragged down to reality. And I think that we'll probably have another stage where we get a few wins on the bounce. But it's just that consistency.
Our wave has been like a free run, a run of free wins. It's a pretty shit wave, bro. Like, we're in the fucking trenches, bruv. I said a performance like this, like against Brentford, was massively important. Build confidence, build momentum going into the games ahead. Now, you have a game that we bottled last week against Arsenal, and wherever the fuck that was. Like, well, I feel right back to stage one again. I'm just going into every game just thinking, please just don't get battered. So I don't know, like, I get what you're saying, there's a wave, but what, it's the same wave we had on the Potter when we won 3 in a row with him.
Yeah, but then we didn't stop losing after that. I mean, that's something.
Well, I wonder what's going to happen in the next few games. Tottenham, no. Man City, Newcastle, Brighton, Man United. I mean, at least we should beat Blackburn. I mean, God fucking forbid we even do any stupidness against them on Wednesday. But everything else, shit, I ain't got any confidence. Our attack looks toothless. Our game management is shit. Our bench ain't really all that. There's bozo moments left, right and centre. What am I meant to get up about? Teams come to the bridge and they take the piss. Brentford had 1 win in 7 before they came here. Now they have 3 wins in a row at the bounce. At our ground. Arsenal is bad enough, but fucking Brentford, is this really how far we've fallen? Can't even run our own ends anymore and we want to talk about running London. This shit is pathetic. I can't look at this and just think, okay, at least there's been good points in the season. No, these are the games we're meant to be winning. Forget even being 2-0 up against Arsenal and seeing that out. Brentford at home, who have been toothless themselves this season, shouldn't be a problem. We need to let Morpie score a goal. He hasn't scored in 31 league appearances. Thank the Lord he sided it to Mbuebo. At least it was just another assist. But you see how easy we make it for people.
So you wouldn't give credit to Brentford? You think it's just our own making?
Credit to Brentford because they came in with a game plan to frustrate us, hit us on transition and to make most of the aerial threat. Everything worked for them. Everything worked for them. So like, no discredit to Brentford, but I have to look at Chelsea as well and say we were fucking toothless. I have to look at Poch and say you had 2 right backs there. Why are you playing a centre back in that position? Especially when the first goal comes from the right. I have to look at the game management. I get what you're saying, throw everybody up for a corner, but you see what happens when you do that. You leave yourself open for a second. I would rather have 1 or 2 players back, just to protect that at least, because then there's more opportunities to go forward. Everything here just looks fucking amateur.
All right, let's try and end on a positive. Let's try and end on a positive. Sanchez, last week, obviously, you were very unhappy with him, but this week he was one of our best players.
Yep.
Are you glad that Poch didn't drop him?
He shouldn't have been dropped anyway. I thought that was stupidness even thinking about it. Like, the more I thought about it, it's like, I'm annoyed about the Arsenal game, but it's one mistake, and he's actually saved us in games before. Kept the scoreline decent. Could have been 4-0 without his saves. Short passing in the first half, a little bit shaky, but that's all I really have to say about him. Other than that, Cole Palmer really tried, just surrounded by absolute shit today. Cucurella, guess did his job. I guess Thiago Silva did his job. That's about it. That's really about it. And I can't even really look at that too tough. We just lost 2-0 at home to a 14th place Brentford side. I think they're now above us in the table. So we've already slid down. And we're going to keep sliding down if results don't go our way this weekend. We've got back to that point where we now need the former rivals in the top 6 to go and beat the teams around us, just to save our blushes. It's fucking embarrassing. There's no positives to look at with this. The positives is Sanchez saved us from being 4-0. That's the positives we're going to look at? We're fucked. We're actually so fucked if that's what we're taking from this game. Like, it's just dead. Go to Tottenham and fucking do something. I don't know what, because I don't know what I'm hoping for right now. Just go and do something, please, because this is shit.